Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. It is Thursday. I'm Peter Martin. Thank you very much for your support of the programme. And in the studio tonight, as ever, Alan Ruff, accompanied by Tam Cowan. And I think Tam might have made a mistake with the lever on his chair, because he does look distinctly smaller than Alan Ruff on the programme tonight. Nevertheless, he'll be tall, he'll be loudmouthed when we get to talk about the football. And here's what's on the agenda. And for the benefit of anyone who's eagle-eyed, Ruffy, you can see that we have these little minions who roam about and quickly elevate Tam up to the same height as yourself.
That's what happens when you get superstars on the show. You've got to have these facilities available for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Ruffy, lots to talk about on the programme. Of course, Celtic against Cluj. Revenge might be in the air. Christopher Ayer has mentioned that he reckons this is the best Celtic squad in years. Again, it's quite a bold statement when you think of some of the teams that have gone before.
Yes, it certainly is. I don't agree with him on this one. I think there were wonderful Celtic teams way back in 2003, 2004, with some fabulous players, obviously.
I think he's probably talking about maybe going back to Brendan Rodgers, no further. You know, I mean, Ronnie Dyler's, I don't think too many people were enamoured with that period, but certainly, are they better than the Brendan Rodgers Invincibles?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they've got the same striking force up front. I know it will come good eventually. Defensively, we're still talking about, is it the best? Who's the best back four? Who isn't? And if you're a really, really good side, you shouldn't be debating these situations. Yeah,
but there's one thing I love, Tam, is I love debating those teams from yesteryear. I mean, I honestly believe, would the current Motherwell team be able to live with the 1991 Scottish Cup winning side?
No, not a chance. Different era, different type of football being played, and as well as we're doing just now, and increasingly, Peter, as you know, there's a lot of folk fancying Motherwell to finish third this year. Done a great bit of business there this week with signing up Liam Donnelly and a 3-year deal, which I'm going to stick my neck out and say could even be a wee insurance policy, because I think he'll attract some attention, him and wee Alan Campbell in the middle of the park. But no, I'm not going to be crazy and suggest for a minute that would compete with that team. It had guys like Ali Maxwell and Luke Nyholt and Davy Cooper and Kirky scoring a goal every game. No, absolutely no chance. But I can see what, I think Ayer maybe as well, talking the boys up before they get into this game. They lost 4 goals. The last time this team came to Parkhead, and Cluj as well, I believe they'd already beaten Lazio in the group, so they're no mugs. They're absolutely no mugs. But I maybe think that the team's coming together. I noticed that Easter Road, he's added goals to his game as well. So he'll need to keep an eye out for that tonight. But I think there could be a wee cracker in store.
Yeah, the other good thing about this is Neil Lennon has the likes of Julian, he has Ayer there, he has Ball and Goalie playing better football. Will that be enough? Well, our reporter Gabriel Antoniazzi is out there at Celtic Park ahead of the game.
Welcome to Celtic Park, where tonight the Scottish champions will welcome CFR Cluj for the second time this season. Yes, Celtic know all about their Romanian opposition, who infamously beat them 4-3 here back in late August to knock them out of this season's Champions League. Now, since that night, Celtic have gone from strength to strength, winning 8 out of their 10 matches, and that game remains their only loss this campaign. Whereas for Cluj, it's been more of a mixed bag. In their 10 fixtures, they've won 4 of them, but they were knocked out of the Romanian Cup by lower league opposition and lost the Champions League playoff to Slavia Prague. However, they do still sit top of the Romanian league by 2 points, and surprisingly, they beat Lazio 2 weeks ago in their opening Europa League fixture. So how are the two teams lining up this evening? There were injury concerns over visiting forwards Bilal Omrani and Lassina Traore, who were both substituted at the weekend. But Omrani, who scored 2 at Parkhead, claimed he will make the game. Manager Dan Petrescu's involvement is also in doubt. He was struck down with illness shortly after arriving in Scotland and may not be in the dugout. For Celtic, Neil Beaton is available again, but tonight may come too soon for Mikey Johnston and Tom Rogic. Now, with James Forrest, Odsonne Edouard and Mohamed El Yunusi likely to start up top, one of Scott Brown, Callum McGregor, Ryan Christie and Olivier Cham will have to drop out. Manager Neil Lennon knows that home form will be key to a successful campaign.
Home advantage, you got to try and maximise it. Looking forward to European night under the lights again, and a big atmosphere, big crowd, and I hope the players, connect with that and respond to it as well.
Cluj's victory against Lazio has blown this group wide open, and after Celtic's hard-earned point against Rennes 2 weeks ago, Neil Lennon's side know that if they get successful revenge tonight, then they will be in complete command of Group E before the end of the month doubleheader against Lazio.
Yeah, it's time for our predictions on it. Before it, let's have a look at that group. It's tight, Ruffy. It could go either way. This is one of those groups where, you've got to try and win your home games.
No, I think you have got to win your home games. Obviously, Tam's touched on them beating Lazio. That's an impressive result. They will come with no fear, but I would hope that Celtic have learned their lesson from that last one and they will go on and win this one.
Yeah, prediction?
I'm going to go Celtic 2-1.
Tam?
0-0.
0-0. Okay. Don't forget, this is week 32 of Tam predicting 0-0 for every game.
I'm going to get one up. You're always winning until somebody scores. You're counting the money in your pocket.
Here's another thing I was going to say to you. I think it was Jock Steele who said, without the fans, football is nothing. So, there are 600 fans going to Switzerland to support Rangers. Obviously, Rangers didn't take up their allocation for their away end.
Yeah.
If you're dicing with death, you hope that 600 fans will be able to go over there and give themselves, a good account of themselves.
Right, well, it wasn't as if UEFA said you can't send any fans to this game. Your fans can't go to this game, right? So there was always going to be fans. You know what fans are like? There's fans at every club. There's fans at East Stirlingshire, Albion Rovers, who have not missed a single game in 50 years. This is a European game. There'll be a lot of Rangers fans who want to go there. 600 of them are there. And as long as they behave and don't break the rules according to the songbook that has been deemed fine by UEFA, then there won't be a single issue. And there'll be some fans there to cheer on their team. But you just don't hope it doesn't end up with Rangers having to have a go at their own fans and say, why the hell did you go there? When we're already under a microscope, But if the guys go there, hardcore fans enjoy themselves, it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine.
See, with Rangers saying don't go.
Yeah.
If there was any trouble, and let's hope there isn't,
I don't think
is the club held responsible for the fans who are there?
Absolutely. If it's inside the stadium, it's within UEFA's jurisdiction.
But surely if Rangers are saying no,
they've refused their ticket.
They refused their tickets. That's all they can do.
And this is a stance against some of the behaviour. So you would hope that 600 fans can behave themselves. I agree with you on that, Tam. As far as the match itself,
and the Swiss will remind anyhow. The Swiss are neutrals. They're not like any bother, any trouble, any fighting, anything, so it'll be absolutely fine.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think the Swiss police are similar to quite a few other of our European compatriots. And of course, with especially what's happening in the political world, who would bet against police forces going in and just giving us a right battering? It happens from time to time as you look back at the evidence of the last few months. But nevertheless, we hope the 600 fans conduct themselves properly. And, dare I say it, Rangers, with the form under Steven Gerrard in European football, may be more than capable of getting minimum a draw in this one. Our reporter Gabriel Antoniazzi has a look at the tie.
Rangers head to the Swiss capital of Bern to face Young Boys with 3 Europa League points already in the bag. Shea Ojo stunner gave him a 1-0 win over Feyenoord 2 weeks ago, whereas Young Boys lost 2-1 in Porto. However, that's the only time the Swiss side have lost all season. The 2-in-a-row champions were knocked out of the Champions League playoff by Red Star Belgrade on away goals after drawing both ties. They're currently second in their domestic league, just like Rangers, but have European pedigree from last season. They did finish bottom of their Champions League group, but they registered an impressive 2-1 win over Juventus along the way. For the very few fans from Glasgow that do make the trip, they should keep an eye out for Saida Janko. The former Celtic right-back starts most weeks. Forward Jean-Pierre Nsam is on fire and has scored 7 goals in his last 6 games, whilst Christian Fasnacht will start on the right-hand side of midfield. Steven Gerrard heads to the continent full of confidence, knowing a victory here will put his side within 1 foot of the knockout stage.
Yep, so Gabriel sets the scene on this one. It's not going to be easy for Rangers, of course. Certainly, I don't like them, the artificial pitch.
I'm glad you finished that sentence before you get any feedback. Dear me. I think I've just ruined one of your seats here, Peter.
No, the point I was going to make was Steven Gerrard said, I'm not going to accept any excuses on this one. You know, it's the same for both teams, but I'm not happy with them in Europe.
Oh, you know what? Nobody likes the plastic pitches, right? Yeah. But you've got to play in them now. It's the 21st century, that's it. So we can't keep moaning about them. Yeah. The other thing I would say for any Rangers fans slightly worried going into this one, I don't think Rangers actually get the credit they deserve for beating Aberdeen at the weekend. I think the focus went on Aberdeen a bit. Imagine Aberdeen, God, that's meant to be one of the great rivalries. They get absolutely pumped 5-0. When did they last lose 5 goals, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I don't think Rangers get the credit. So I think, you know, you're going into a European game and you've just beat one of your great rivals 5-0. It's not a bad position to be in. So I'd be quite buoyant if I was a Rangers fan.
Yeah, just that comment came out of left field there, which leads me to believe, are you appearing at a Rangers supporters do this weekend?
Not that. I am available.
Here's the fixtures in the Europe.
I know you're not.
Never a truer word spoken, Tam. Here's the fixtures involving British clubs in Europe. Besiktas against Wolves, AZ Alkmaar against Manchester United, Young Boys against Rangers, Celtic against Cluj, and Arsenal against Standard Liège. We're going to talk Scotland. We'll talk Lawrence Shanklin, among other things, still to come after our quiz. Tam, a man of your standing would easily get that name.
Shoot you in.
Just
shoot you in.
Rolls off the tongue on
Pushkas.
that one. You know, when you started there, I thought, no, don't. Anyway, Lawrence Shanklin has been in the news,
brilliant.
of course. He's been selected for Scotland. First of all, that was the first chance to ask you, but what's your take on it?
Brilliant, get him in. He's been banging in the goals for fun. 13 already. We're all into the first couple of days of October.
Are we being snobby about it?
And in what respect?
In respect, he's in a lower league team.
No, Steve Bull. Steve Bull was in the third flight of English football when he was banging in goals. Get him in there. He's scoring the goals. We don't have a natural goal scorer up there at Steve Clarke's disposal. Yeah. I'm actually, I would even have gone in fantasy land, or certainly last season, with him pairing up front with Stephen Dobie, Queen of the South. Yeah. But tell me this, how many goals has Stephen Dobie scored this season? None. Yeah. None. You could never have backed that. I did. 0-0. I'll get my money on him. Hope he doesn't score one to ruin it. No. But you get Lawrence Shanklin in there. And you know the other thing, Peter? I've got a feeling he might get on for the bench against Russia. But I think when we need bums on seats, a home game against San Marino, when it doesn't actually matter, I think he's going to be in there. I'm a wee bit surprised. Considering Frank Lampard described him as the best player in Chelsea's team last week. I'm a wee bit surprised as well that Billy Gilmore didn't get a chance. Yeah. I know we might be getting carried away here, and Stevie Clarke's maybe got the sensible head on saying his time will come. But why no chuck him and give him a wee go just now?
Yeah, absolutely. Over and above that, Ruffy, Shanklin himself has said he'll either stay to the end of his contract, but definitely he'll stay until Dundee United are back in the top flight. The contract is till 2029. So he'll...
Try to suit back into the Rangers fans. Let go at Dundee United,
Ruffy, you've seen it yourself. You were top flight when you were playing for Scotland. Sometimes people can get overawed. I don't think this boy will be overawed by it all.
No, I think it's all about the individual being able to handle the situation, but he'll know exactly when they meet up the first 2 or 3 training sessions, and he's going to have to get his head around. He'll think a lot of the guys in that squad are playing with big clubs. If he can't handle the training sessions, Stevie Clarke will see it right away.
Yeah. Do you think Stevie Clarke's guilty of maybe being a wee bit over favourable towards Kilmarnock Stuart Finlay now called up with Liam Cooper dropping out. I mean,
seriously,
are we getting a wee bit of bias here, or is it there on merit?
He's obviously worked with him day to day. He knows the strengths and weaknesses of him. You know, if he thinks he's good enough, he'll have to stand by that. But to go back to what Tam's saying with Billy Gilmour, I hope he's keeping the Billy Gilmour one till after the Russia game when there's call-offs and all of a sudden I'm going to bring him in. And that will give that game a wee bit of a boost for somebody like that coming into the squad, and hopefully let's see them. I remember Scotland went to play Georgia and they had a 16-year-old boy playing in the first team.
Yeah.
They just threw him in because he'd done everything asked of him, and the whole crowd were absolutely... The stadium was full because this young boy was being given a chance.
Yeah. And any players, I mean, we're all been two-faced here, Peter. As I've said religiously in this show, let Stevie Clarke get on with it, right? Yeah. And I do personally feel that he'll work with the players that he's got and fashion them into a team for the Nations League playoffs. That's fine. But when we've got a lot of seats to fill at Hampden, bear in mind, we've got a midweek game against San Marino at Hampden, a midweek game against Kazakhstan at Hampden. Yeah. If you've got a wee couple of players there that you think you can chuck in to get the fans' interest up and put bums on seats, then brilliant. I think accusing me just picking the Kilmarnock players is very unfair, but I'm looking forward to Derek McDickon's debut against Russia. Yeah. I think that'll be fantastic. I used to love him.
I was just going to say to you, Tam, it's even more amazing that Ruffy can remember anything about the trip to Georgia, because I was there with you on it, and you were 3 sheets to the wind at one particular point.
He ended up in the southern states of America. An easy mistake to make.
And the one downside, I think, from the news emerging this morning was, it caught me on the hop, was Inverness Caley Thistle. This is a surprise. Obviously, the possibility of administration, let's hope they can stave it off. Everything needs to be done. People need to chip in. They're losing, obviously, the 800 grand that Ruffy mentioned in the championship that they don't get from the Premiership as well. But suddenly, they're desperately looking at some of the shareholders to invest some money. Should other things be done?
Well, I think certainly, I mean, we'd already mentioned it in the Facebook Live programme that a wee PLZ soccer night, the 3 years, got them put on a night for them. Yeah. Every penny into the club, that'll be fine. There is a bit of money in Inverness, the city. As a city, remember, there is a wee bit of money in Inverness itself. You're hoping maybe some local business guys will gather round. It is, I'm not wanting to kind of patronise them, but there is slightly a wee bit of the cuddly toy Scottish football ever since the Super Caley Go Ballistic night. Folk look at them warmly, so I think they might get a bit of support out of that. But as I say, I would remind the Celtic fans that without Inverness Caley that night, you would not have had Martin O'Neill. It was basically Inverness Caley that got John Barnes the sack, and then the rest, as they say, is history. So what about a game? And play at Parkhead with a bigger crowd. Yeah. If the Celtic fans want to show their appreciation for what that result did for their club, a friendly, fundraising friendly Celtic versus Inverness, and even bring back as much as, I wonder how many of them are still kicking about and can squeeze into a pair of shorts. Play the two teams for, was it 2000, 2001, 99?
99.
What year by? Mark Burchill and all the rest of it. Have them in the dressing room, Mark Viduka throwing boots at Jonathan Gould. Have the whole stuff that happened that first time round. It would be magnificent.
It would be.
I'd go myself.
You get Charlie Christie, you get Barry Wilson, all these guys would all be back appearing in it. I think it would be a great idea, Tam. Just before we go, Champions League was last night again. Didn't disappoint, Ruffy. I mean, Liverpool looked as if they were coasting at 3-0, and then for the first time, I think in a couple of years, the player from who were they playing? Liverpool. That's outrageous. The player from
Napoli,
Leipzig.
Leipzig
Actually turned Virgil van Dijk, put him on his backside, and then fired the ball into the net. It was fantastic.
That's what we're saying. These teams have got players of quality in them. They might not have the quality, but there are some of them who have got the quality to do things like that, and that's why there's going to be a lot of strange results this year.
Salzburg, I watched the whole game religiously. How the heck did I make that mistake? Anyway, it was some game, by the way. I mean, I love the Champions League.
I was burned out after the Arsenal Bayern Munich the night before, and the thing that I love, Bayern Munich, maybe it's a German thing too. Do you remember when Germany absolutely hosed Brazil at the World Cup? What was it, 7-0? Yeah. Right. What I love about that, no, it must be a German thing. Bayern Munich the other night, when they had the game won, the points in the bag, they didn't put the tools away. Whether it was they were wanting to enter, they thought, we're on a big platform here. fans pay a lot of money to watch their football. Let's go out and entertain them. And for them to score 7 the other night at Arsenal, I mean, I think heads should roll at Arsenal. If teams up here, let's think in recent times, PSG, Barcelona taking a lot of goals against Celtic. Yep, you could put the argument, look at the huge financial gulf, right? Yeah. And, you know, Brendan Rodgers was always quick to do it. But can you really say the same about Arsenal and Bayern Munich? For the money that is Arsenal have had coming into their coffers, Tottenham, that is absolutely just humiliating, that score the other night.
Yeah, embarrassing. Nevertheless, we are delighted Tam's with us on a Thursday, and every Thursday he'll be joining us in a Facebook Live and of course on the programme as well. News of our podcast coming up as well. If you want to join us, interact with us, you can do in social media, Twitter of course, Facebook Live, and you can like, share and follow, which you have been doing by your thousands. Thank you very much for that. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel too. Thanks to Ruffy, thanks to Tam Cowan, and from myself, Peter Martin, thank you for watching.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.